Welcome to Denmark. This beautiful country is so much more than its famous capital. Known as the homeland of Hans Christian Andersen, Denmark is filled with enchanting spots that feel like they've been pulled straight from the pages of a storybook. In this video, I'm taking you along with me and we're going to road trip around Denmark to explore castles, charming towns, and more places that make Denmark a fairy tale in real life. Hi everyone, greetings from Denmark. I can't believe I'm back again this year. Earlier in July, I was in Copenhagen and I absolutely love the city. And now I'm back in Denmark to see more of it and venturing outside Copenhagen and doing a little road trip around Denmark. The non-stop route on SAS from Atlanta to Copenhagen is so nice, and it's a quick 9-hour flight and you're here. And of course, the ride went smoothly and I really do enjoy flying SAS. I'm in my rental car now, which I'll be in for the next 4 days as I drive around Denmark and touring different places outside of Copenhagen. And honestly, the car pickup process was pretty quick and easy. There were signs everywhere at the airport that takes you to the car rental pickup, and the guy was really nice that helped us. So all in all, a really good experience right now. Though this is my first time ever driving in Europe, but I read online reviews and they said that driving in Denmark's actually pretty easy, and the only thing is to watch out for the bikers because they do have a lot of right of way. So I was driving towards the first stop of this road trip, which is this deer park. And I just had to pull over on the side of the road now because the fall colors are so beautiful. I did not expect Denmark to have these beautiful colors. I mean, like, this is incredible. And in my head, I thought that I would have missed peak colors already, but the colors are just absolutely stunning right now. This park I'm driving through right now is called Deer Haven, or Deer Park, and it is a nature preserve with over 2,000 roaming wild deer. There are also hiking and cycling trails here and features a Baroque palace within. It is only about 30 minutes from Copenhagen, which is why this is my first stop of the Denmark road trip. It is completely free to visit and there are ample free parking spaces. I'm heading now to the Baroque palace, which was also a royal hunting lodge. Just did a quick change in the back seat because I literally was like, I'm not gonna take any pictures today because I'm tired and jet lagged, but this place is too beautiful to not capture any content, so changed to a dress. But yes, typical me, always have a dress ready to go. You can't drive up to the royal hunting lodge, so I parked near the entrance to a path that would lead me there. It's about a 20-minute walk from where I parked, and the walk is absolutely so serene and beautiful. After a beautiful and short walk, I finally made it to the Hermitage Hunting Lodge. And this hunting lodge was actually built in 1736, and it was designed as a royal retreat where the king could relax and enjoy hunting in the surrounding woods. Unfortunately, it looks like the hunting lodge is closed for the season and that they really only offer tours during the summer, but this walk is still so great and it's really nice to admire from the outside, and the nature around it is just, again, so serene. It turns out you can only go on guided tours in summer from June through August, and tours in English takes place every Saturday at 3 p.m. This is really hard to see on video, but there's just a bunch of deer all laying on the grass over there. And of course you can't get too close to wildlife, so, but yeah, they're over there. Spent most of the day at the deer park walking around and now heading more north to check into my hotel for the night. Made it to my hotel for the night, and it's an actual castle. Walking around exploring the grounds of this hotel, and this actually used to be an 18th century castle. It has been turned into this boutique hotel, but the grounds are so gorgeous and you can see so many beautiful leaves from here. The interior of this boutique hotel is beautiful and the room is cozy. There is even a spa and restaurant on property.
I decided to have dinner at the restaurant on property, and it was a classic Danish dinner with bread and fish and salad.
It's been a pretty busy first day and jet lag is hitting me pretty hard. It's only 7:30, but I'm ready for bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Woke up bright and early and checked out of my hotel and now heading to Frederiksberg Castle. So the castle tour continues. What's crazy is that it's like 10 a.m. and all the shops are starting to open up right now. It's crazy how different like Denmark is in the summer versus the winter, because I feel like it's a late start because the sun rises a lot later. The free car park was about a 20-minute walk from the castle, but now I finally reach it and it's such an impressive sight.
Welcome to Frederiksberg Castle. This Renaissance castle is a key landmark in Danish history and an architectural treasure. It was originally built by King Christian IV in the early 17th century.
So there is a lot of construction work going on right now at the castle, and they actually have this fake facade, I guess, of what the castle is supposed to look like. I don't know, that was just kind of funny. Apparently they started the construction project January of this year, 2024, and it's supposed to wrap up by the end of 2024. So if you're visiting in 2025 and beyond, then the castle should be fully fixed up without all the scaffolding.
There are 3 main levels to this castle, and I'm starting here on the ground floor. The ground floor mainly introduces visitors to the history of Denmark and sets the stage for the other floors. The castle did suffer a devastating fire in 1859, which destroyed much of the interior and parts of the structure. However, it has been painstakingly restored. I've made it up to the 2nd floor, which mainly features the chapel. The organ even started playing as I got here. This chapel is one of the most significant and beautiful parts of the castle. Notably, it was the site of many royal baptisms and has seen the marriage ceremonies of several Danish monarchs. The chapel continues to be an important place for royal and state functions. Onwards to the 3rd floor.
This castle is so beautiful, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this.
The castle also houses the Museum of National History, which was established in the castle in 1878. The museum holds an extensive collection of paintings, portraits, and artifacts related to Danish history, particularly focusing on the monarchy and key historical events. Visitors can explore its grand galleries and learn about Denmark's cultural heritage, the development of its monarchy, and historical periods spanning from the Middle Ages to modern times. One room you shouldn't miss in the castle is the Great Hall. The Great Hall is one of the most impressive and historically significant rooms in the entire castle, as it served as a grand ceremonial space for the Danish royal court.
Absolutely starving after touring the castle, so going back to the gardens behind after lunch, since the garden is actually free and open to the public. Got so much water, very un-European. Subsistence. It's been such a busy day already, but I have a few more spots hit up, so gotta eat up. Back to the castle area now, and I'm heading to the gardens that's behind the castle, and it is free to visit and open to the public, which is really nice.
My first impressions of these gardens is that it reminds me a lot of Versailles. I mean, it's like a mini Versailles, and I'm shocked at how quiet and peaceful it is here. I had no idea how big these gardens are. I mean, it is expansive.
This is a replica of the gardens and started here and made it all the way up here to this cute little coffee shop. I popped into the cafe for a hot latte, and it's perfect for a chilly October day like today. And yeah, it's just really nice and peaceful here in this park.
Finishing up coffee and heading next to the town of Frederiksberg.
Drove about 15 minutes to my next hotel, and this is in the town of Frederiksberg, and there is another castle here as well.
The sun started setting as I was settling into my room, so I decided to call in an early evening and check out Frederiksberg Palace the next day. I had dinner at the restaurant inside my hotel and had a fantastic meal of fish and vegetables again.
Good morning. It is a very foggy and moody morning today. I'm gonna go head to the hotel breakfast to grab some coffee and food before setting out for today. So I'm here at the Frederiksberg Palace, and this is actually the royal family's summer home, and it is open during the summer for guided tours, but unfortunately no access is allowed now since it's already October, but definitely worth checking out if you're here in the summer. You can go inside.
Now I'm back on the road again, heading to another town that is just 15 minutes away called Helsingr.
Made it to the town of Helsingr and thankfully found parking again near the train stations. I've noticed that a lot of train stations do have good parking, so that's always a good chance. And it is another 20-minute walk to the main center of town, but I don't mind walking, and I think it's free. It's not very clear though whether parking is paid for or free, I've noticed, because there's just not really any signs. And then I read the reviews, and the reviews are like it's free or it's paid, but this lot, either or, we'll see.
Helsingr is a historic and charming city located in the northern part of Denmark, and it is most famous for Kronborg Castle, which is the setting for Shakespeare's famous play, Hamlet. Its charming old town is filled with cobblestone streets and traditional Danish architecture.
Walking through town to get to Kronborg Castle, and it's such a picturesque little town. Look at this great view of the Kronborg Castle behind me. It's the perfect view of the sea, the castle. This is the brother to the Little Mermaid that is in Copenhagen.
Finally made it to Kronborg Castle and heading in to get my ticket.
Alright, finally made it to the castle.
Kronborg Castle is the city's most famous landmark, and this was built in the 16th century by King Frederick II. It is renowned for its Renaissance architecture and its association with Shakespeare's Hamlet. This castle is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and attracts thousands of visitors every year due to its historical significance and literary fame. Shakespeare's play Hamlet is set in Helsingr, which is the anglicized name of Helsingr. The play's connection to the city has made this town an important cultural site with an annual performance of Hamlet held at this castle. Starting here at the entrance of the castle to go on a self-guided tour. As previously mentioned, Kronborg Castle was built in the 16th century by King Frederick II of Denmark, and it was designed to serve as a royal residence and, more importantly, a strategic fortress. When King Frederick II married Sophie of Mecklenburg in 1572, he decided to remodel the old fortress as a gift to his beloved wife, Sophie. I loved being able to tour these rooms and chambers and envision how these royals lived. There was even an interactive room where you can sit or pretend to be the queen.
What I'm really enjoying about this castle compared to a lot of the other ones is that every room is so well explained. I feel like I'm literally walking through history and can picture them sitting there and living in these walls.
The Great Hall is one of the most impressive and historically significant rooms within the castle. It is also one of the largest rooms in the castle and where the castle tour wraps up. If you head outside, you'll find the Royal Chapel, which is designed to be a place of worship for the Danish royal family, their court, and visiting dignitaries. And this wraps up the castle tour. Definitely a site I recommend anyone to visit.
Stumbled upon the cutest coffee shop that is right next to the castle, so popping in to grab a quick cup of coffee.
This coffee shop was the perfect spot to take a short break and escape from the wind for a little. They have all kinds of baked goods, and I got a latte and a croissant to warm up. Don't miss this cute coffee shop while you're on the grounds of Helsingr Castle. Heading out of the castle area and back into the main area of town where there are other museums and shops. Next stop is the Maritime Museum of Denmark. This award-winning museum is dedicated to Denmark's rich maritime history. The museum is built around a former dock that utilizes the dock as part of its structure. The museum's exhibits focus on Denmark's maritime past and present, exploring trade, exploration, naval history, and the cultural impact of the sea on Danish identity.
There's this fun interactive kids area, but there aren't any kids in sight, so I guess I can hang around here for a little bit.
The exhibits here combine artifacts, multimedia installations, and interactive elements, which makes it engaging for all ages. Popped into the Culture Yard, which is a cultural center housed in a former shipyard building near the Maritime Museum. This center includes a library, concert hall, exhibition spaces, and even the visitor center for Helsingr. The on-site cafe is also a great spot to relax and hang out with the locals. There is also a street food market in Helsingr, and I'm heading there to check it out for lunch. It's located in this unassuming warehouse, and there's a variety of different cuisine options here. It is a huge space, and I was honestly overwhelmed by the choices. They have stalls serving international cuisines, including Japanese, Greek, Moroccan, British, Mexican, American, and so much more. Spinning the wheel to decide where I'm going to eat since there's so many options. I spun the wheel and I realized I did not want fish and chips, so instead I went and got ramen because it sounds really good. It's cold outside, I just want a big bowl of soup. Finally got my food and I went with the chicken ramen. It feels so good holding this hot bowl in my hands. Honestly, the ramen was just okay since it wasn't very flavorful, but it is a filling meal. Finished my late lunch and headed back towards the center of town. Don't have any major plans for the rest of the day other than just walking around town and exploring and maybe doing a bit of shopping. It's truly such a picturesque town to walk around, and I even saw some really cool murals around town. Went and checked out this antique shop and did end up doing a little bit of shopping as I expected. Decided to check out the main train station in Helsingr since I heard it was very pretty. If you were taking the train from Copenhagen, then this is a train station that you'll get off at. I checked into a hotel near Helsingr for my last night in Denmark before heading home, and I woke up bright and early to drive back to the Copenhagen airport. This trip just made me fall in love with Denmark even more, and I'm so glad I got to visit twice this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.